You're watching Fox 10 News.
We had a terrible shooting in Tucson this morning. 19 people shot, including the gunman, who is still alive. But our state representative, a member of Congress was shot. A federal judge was shot and killed. And also a 9-year-old girl was shot and killed. 5 people dead. Numerous others injured today in Tucson.
This raises incredible security questions, not only about people in the public eye and politicians, but about the people who attend these events to see them and meet them and get to know them. Troy Hayden is live with Steve Adelman, who's our security expert here.
And let's talk security here for a second. Let's say Representative Giffords, of course, had no security with her today. We talked about that. If she had somebody standing right next to her, would that have prevented this?
Not for her. For her, unfortunately, the first bullet is virtually impossible to stop. If there had been security close at hand, it could have possibly saved other lives or spared other people from being hurt. Obviously, that's speculation, but that's where the damage might have been spared.
The shooter comes up and gets off a shot, and nobody even standing right next to the representative would have been able to stop that, but they probably would have been able to tackle him afterwards or something, and those 4 other people would have been killed.
You would hope.
Or 5 other people. All right, so now let's talk about Oklahoma City. Oklahoma City bombing. Another terrible tragedy, and it really changed the way we looked at security around federal buildings. Do you see something like that? Is this an Oklahoma City type security moment?
Well, we've heard from a number of elected officials today, and that's going to be a decision that each of them is going to have to make on their own. You know, some will say, I will absolutely not change the way I deal with my constituents. I will be exactly as accessible, when I'm in the people's house, as Congressman Hayworth said, as I was before this terrible tragedy. Some will take more low-key precautions. Perhaps they'll wear body armor to protect themselves.
Right. And so where do we stop? I mean, does every city council member all of a sudden now have to have security? Or do you have to get screened before you go to any sort of a gathering? Are they going to have to start having these town halls inside enclosed buildings where they can control that sort of thing?
Well, I think that screening is one of the things that's very likely to harden the shell of a meeting that people reasonably anticipate could be contentious. That's just a smart precaution. So while you don't want to keep people from engaging in the political process, you do want to engage in basic security so that you don't have terrible things like this.
In a more controlled environment, and we'll have to see how this shakes out over the next days, weeks, and even years, John and Kerry. So a quick look at the security in this case today and moving forward.
It's
Thanks,
sure
Troy.
open
Thanks,
up a
Steve.
dialogue on
Thank you.
that, that's for sure.